Hi, kids. Lori here from the Goodbye Good Girl Project with some crazy ass glasses. I'm going to pop these out if I can. I don't want to hurt myself. I'm going to hurt myself and I don't want to. Okay. Well, it is Sunday. Welcome to the Irreverent Sacred. Welcome. I really do like these glasses. I think these are very cool. I'm going to have to get them made into prescriptions. Yeah, those are pretty freaking awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me get myself some tea. Let's settle in here to the irreverent sacred. Let us settle into demystifying some stuff about all of the sacred texts that we have been, lied to about. Paragon, my love, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry I'm late. I got a late start and my computer decided to go, I don't think so. So I had to get onto my phone to do it. Good golly. Okay, these glasses are cool, but they're also kind of falling off my face. I have to tilt them up so I don't get a glare. Nope, you are right on time, babe. Yeah, I'm going to have to take these off. That's too bad. These are cool. Okay, good. Maybe I found a way to balance them. Nope, you are not late. Not at all. Oh my God. Mystic Soul Sunday is the day that we look at the messages that we have been given through religion, through spirituality. They're cool, aren't they? Yeah. And we see where we've taken them in and we dismantle them. We look at them in ways that we can get ourselves off the hook of just blindly letting our systems run us with the messages, the false messages that we've been given. Hey, Chloe, love. Hi, Glow. Hey, guys, welcome and happy Sunday. If only Sundays brought this sense that I would like them to, all by themselves, of like, but I have to do it for myself, just like you do. And that's okay. That's actually great. Because we're at last in a place in our lives, in our astrological history as human beings, where we have the backing to do that. Hi, Wrong Way. Wrong Way Wiggy. Like that name. Hello, Wonderworks. And Ralph the Elf. I would love to know what that means. That's very cool. That is super cool. So I have some things to talk to you about, but let me reintroduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Lori. I'm with a company called the Goodbye Good Girl Project. This is where we come to reclaim the feminine and make a damn difference. Because without the feminine, which is where we've been over the last millennia or two, it gets us to where we are now, which is in the breakdown, which is a good thing. We need the breakdown because we need the new. The thing that is the tricky part, not undoable, not tough like it's been I don't know, for the rest of our lives to believe that we have any power, is to understand that we are the ones bringing the new. And we're not bringing it by having some fabulous idea. Although if you do, that's a great addition. That's fabulous. And it's fun for you. It's because we are bringing our consciousness into a new place around this stuff. We are what I am teaching is how you bring the feminine into what you are doing. You bring your feminine back to the table where it's never been since you were born. When you were born, you had it all. You had it all. And what happened then was you came into a new environment, this earth place with air to breathe, and you needed food, and you needed love, and you needed love from outside, and you needed protection, and you needed all these things. And you were absolutely a victim to your environment, right? I mean, how could you be otherwise? You're naked. You don't even know what your hands are. You don't know what the hell's going on. And you are learning. You come in and you're learning. Oh, okay, well, I can breathe, because the very first thing you do is frickin' cry. You come out of the womb, you're like, what the hell is this, right? We are victims to our circumstances at the very beginning, but we do not have to stay there, and yet we have, and that is by design. That is by design. It's nothing you've done wrong. Absolutely nothing you've done wrong. So let me bring up something on my computer here so I can share what I want to share with you today, because this is some really, really, really cool stuff. Now, if you are a woman and a leader, you have some extra things that I can offer to you, because I have a weekly Thursday meeting for women leaders where we are women and humans first, and we make actual connection, and we support one another. And then we bring all of that into what we're doing for business, whether we're working for someone else, or we're working for ourselves and starting a business ourselves. I do apologize. I should really eat before I come on, because whenever I get hungry, I tend to burp. Okay. Well, in case you wondered if I was human. Extremely much. And these glasses, they're just not tight enough to sit on my face, but I love them. I'm going to have them made into prescription, because they're just cool. Yep, I'm liking them a lot. Okay. So welcome, Anne, Maggie, Veronica. Everybody, welcome. What is it that you believe spiritually? What do you believe spiritually? What is like one of your most amazing things that you believe? We're all one. I am made of the energy that creates worlds. There's really literally nothing I can't be, do, or have if I only knew how. What are some of the incredible spiritual truths that you have resonated with, that you've read, that other people have written, and you've said, yeah, that is 100% true. Yes, I am a co-creator. It has to be this way. I have to be a co-creator. This has to be real. What are some of those, or even just one of those, that you've been like, yeah, but you haven't been able to prove it in your own life? Help me name some. Put them in the chat. You know, positive creates positive. Right. That's a good one. Thank you, Lisa. What are some other ones that you believe that you just haven't quite been able to glom onto to create in your life, that you're like, oh my God, I believe that I am fundamentally a spirit having a human experience, but I don't know how that could help me. I don't know how I can use that for my freedom in this life itself. What is it? What are some of the things that you believe? Let's pull them together, you guys. Put some other stuff in the chat. What do you believe? We are all one. We are limitless, co-creator, and self-saboteur. Well, the self-saboteur is going to be the negative side of this, which is something that actually has been laid on us as a concept, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. What else is it that we've been told? That we're walking energy. Yes, we are walking energy. Stronger than we believe. 100%. 100%. And have you been able to live those truths to a degree that you would like? This is the question. This is the question that drove me and continues to drive me, just in slightly different ways now. But this is the question that drove me starting from when I was like 29 years old, because I met a great being who proved to me from my insides out, who proved to me from my personal experience and a high experience, a complete experience, a total mental, emotional experience, that I am one with that. There is literally no separation between me and that. And if that's true of me, it's true of everybody. But what I did not know was how to keep that going, right? How do I keep that sense of oneness going when that person who gave me that experience by being in the room with me and me allowing that to happen, that connection to be, how do I maintain that through my life? Thank you for the hearts, guys. Please keep hitting the screen. Give me a bunch of hearts. Get us out to the FYP, and also join me if you haven't joined me yet. Yeah. Okay. I'm Lori with the Goodbye Good Girl Project. This is where we come to reclaim the feminine and make a damn difference. Okay. My work is as a speaker, a good Lord, a speaker, a writer, a workshop leader, a community builder. Okay. Spicy Pepper is here. Hi, honey. And Bonzo, thank you. I believe our beliefs of self, world, and limitations create the perimeter of experience of reality. Now you are saying something that is really, that's an expansion thing that yes, yes, and yes. What you believe, you create. That's tricky, isn't it? We're like, well, then what? But wait, I was hurt by this person. What are you saying? I created that? No, I'm saying that what we do is we create the environment for things that can happen. Now, we're not actually victims. We can be victims of situations. You betcha. You betcha. And we actually need to have that perspective at certain points and places along our healing journey. We need things from that perspective of I'm a victim too. We need our anger. We need our rage. Not in order to just strike back, but in order to move past the idea that we really are perpetually victims to anything. To anything. Because when you know that you can take something that has happened to you and you can turn it from crap into flowers that make you never have to experience that old stuff again, because now you are vibrating at a whole different rate of speed, you now have the life of conscious co-creation. And isn't that what we want? We're not looking for co-control. And that's the deal. We don't want co-control. That is the masculine, that's the patriarchal. Top down, somebody wins, somebody has to lose. That's the patriarchal. We don't want that. We've had that. It does not help us. Scroll up, queen. What does that mean, Chloe love? Okay. In the I'm looking at all the comments, baby. I don't see anything that I don't know I'm seeing. Scroll up. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I believe okay, I got that one. Good morning. We're creating our realities every second. We are. You are correct. Is that what you were trying to get me to do? We are. We are co-creators, but the question is, how are we co-creators? We are co-creators energetically. Energetically. The way that we've been taught to look at this, the old way, is that there's something wrong with us that we have to fix. We have been taught to look at ourselves as a problem. So my question for you is, what if you weren't? What if you weren't a problem to be solved? What else could you be? Like if that weren't sort of the basic way that you go out into the world every day going, life sucks, or my life isn't what I want it to be, or I want certain things and I'm not getting them, and blah, blah, blah. How do I fix it? What would be another way to live your life, a different perspective? Well, I want to posit something that I live by, which is curiosity, unfolding, mystery, revealed, because mysteries get revealed in my life every day now. Do you know how extraordinary that is? For someone who spent 40 years convinced that there was no cure for clinical depression, there was only survival. I didn't get a whole lot of rewards during that period. I know what it's like to say, okay, this is the way life is, and it can't be changed. I know that setting, and it's a setting. It's not something that you have to go out and go, I have to fix this now. No. The old way of doing things is there's something wrong with you. It's all based on there's something wrong with you. It really, in its own way, is, this original sin crap. And you go, well, I'm not Christian. Well, honey, neither am I. Yes, we have to get out of survival. That's exactly right, Pepper. Exactly right. Well done. Right. So here is what what I call the patriarchal castle teaches us to do. And it backs it with spirituality and religion that says thou shalt, or you're even worse off. We need to go from I have to fix me to there's a different game I want to play. I want to play a different game. I don't like this win-lose game. This is not working for me. I'm continuously losing. The times that I'm winning, I'm either winning this much and when I needed this much, or I'm paying this much for getting this much. It's not okay with me. I need something different. You're never going to get it playing this patriarchal game. Never going to happen. It has never happened. Ever. Every time that we win at something, we're still stuck in the system. We're still stuck in that matrix of, okay, hold on, my cat's driving me crazy. Will you get down, please? Thank you. We're still stuck in that matrix, which is built on the primary idea that you don't matter. There's something bigger than you. It's more in control than you. You are a victim. In the end, you're a victim to life. You're a victim to your circumstances. You're a victim. That's what it's teaching. That's what it has taught us. And so when we start going out and looking at spirituality, when we go out and we start questioning religion and going, wait a minute, none of this makes any frickin' sense. How can I read it through mysticism, through physics, through philosophy, through astrology, through numerology? How can I read it through symbolism and understand that it's about me? It's about the human experience. It's a how-to book, for the love of God. How do we get to that? Well, we're doing it right this second. To even question it, to even consider it, is an act of anarchy. And it is so emotional. It is so, and I don't mean like over emotional. I just mean it is so based within your own system, your own mind. The patriarchy, even the internalized patriarchy, can't regulate it as much as you can. Oh, I just fogged up my own glasses. That was smart. Oh, these glasses, I really like them. But I can't keep them on. They keep falling off. Damn it. Oh, there goes my ego. How do you get from I'm a victim to my life, that's just the way life is, this is just who I am, I'm only human? How do you get from those limiting and false beliefs and settings within our own consciousness? How do you get out of that? You don't. You let something else do it for you. But it's something else within you. It's not yet another external thing that's going to rescue you. You're going to rescue you. It just doesn't take that Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of to do it, because that is not what works. That doesn't work. Haven't you noticed? Can you give yourself the benefit of the doubt and go, you know what? I've tried really, really, really hard for decades. It hasn't freaking worked. Can you let yourself off the hook? Go, it's not my fault. It's the system. It's what I've been adhering to. It's the eyeglasses that I'm seeing through that aren't even mine. And I can't. Can you consider that possibility? So what is it that you have to bring in? What do you have to, what's going to do the work for you? Somebody the other day in my life said, we have to break the change. And I said, break the chains of consciousness. And I said, no, you never break the chains. You interrupt the patterns. It's why meditation works for many in all of its forms. Because instead of just blindly going through your life and reacting and responding, doing the things you do and blah, 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 never thinking about it, you sit the hell down and you look at what you're thinking, you go, what? Or you sit down, you do what I do, which is be in the silence, feel what you feel, and decide not to, Brittany, welcome. It's not yours, babe. You've been programmed like the rest of us. It's okay. You can come out of it, I promise you. I promise you. The reason that we have all of these beliefs, like I'm a co-creator, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, I'm one with all that is, we are all one. But you're not, you're like, that's very nice. And meanwhile, my life sucks. You don't understand yet where your escape pods are from the game that you've been playing, that we all have been taught to play, and that we've all been taught to internalize so that we actually become our own jailers. We actually modulate ourselves, modify ourselves, judge ourselves. We're mean to ourselves. That is part of the patriarchal castle rules. Thou shalt remain in the patriarchal loop so that you always fail. And one of the trickiest things is trying. Now, it's a wonderful thing to persevere. Oh my God, please persevere. If there's something that you really, really want to be, if you want to be free of depression or confusion or self-punishment and things like that, please persevere. Because you deserve it. But perseverance is not the same as efforting to your death. If you're just... Physics and metaphysics tell us that what you push again just increases, what you focus on increases. So if you're going to use your effort to push something you don't want, to try to push it away, it's just going to get bigger. That's why I had 40 years of clinical depression. Make sense? So, you can't break that by looking at it and going, mother, I'm going to kick your butt. I'm going to get you out. It's not going to work. It's a valiant effort, and it's not going to work. It's physics. So what do you do instead? Well, you have to interrupt the unconsciousness. You have to interrupt the cycle. You have to interrupt the pattern within you. And it doesn't require that you go out and buy a certain set of tools. It doesn't require that you become brilliant or enlightened or any of that crap. Oh, Sharon, thank you. Thank you for putting it into words. Yeah, that's what I've been working on the last intensively for a little while now. And it's so exciting to finally have like the framework for it and all that. We think we're stuck. And that's because we've been taught that there are certain rules and that there are no other rules. Then is it more like allowing it to be without our judgment and shifting? It is completely that. That is beautifully put. And to pull from my experience, in the midst of the worst night of my life, and I've had many worse nights, when I was, to put it the way that the Brits put it, I was depressed off my tits. Like I was going down for the third time. And so I couldn't push anymore. I didn't have anything to push with. I didn't have anything to shield with. I wasn't drinking at that point. It was 2:30 in the morning and I couldn't call people and wake them up to keep me alive. I was not okay with that. And I was out of answers. I had nothing left, no resources left. I'd been to the emergency room twice, and the thing they told me the second time was, if you want to come back, feel free, but the only thing we have left to do for you, since we adjusted your medication, is to lock you up. And I thought, oh my God, wow, really? That's where I've come to after all of this effort? Seriously? But then there I was, and I needed to be somewhere safe. And I started to bottom out. And the magic of what happened, was that I had no places to hide. I didn't know that, Paragon. Drinking worsens depression. Caffeine does the opposite. Interesting. Thank you for that. I had to feel what I was feeling. There was no way not to feel it. But I was listening to Abraham Hicks on YouTube, and Abraham had said, all you need, have you, Sharon? And Abraham said, all you need is a slightly better feeling thought. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Pepper, honey. We all go through the same. I know, I love her too. So I'd been listening to her for like 30 years on and off, and Abraham says some cool stuff, right? All you need is a slightly better feeling thought. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you listen to one of her rampages of appreciation or rampages of forgiveness or rampages of self-worth, and you're like, I feel so much better. I feel so good. But then you can't do it on your own. What you need to do is get to where you can do it on your own. This is what I want your goal to be. This is what I want your focus to be. Not your goal like I'll do it 20 years down the road, but I want this to be your desire. I want you to be so desirous of this that you're willing to put aside every bit of patriarchal castle installed architecture within yourself. And when I say put it aside, I mean recognize that stuff. Recognize it. Okay, anyway. So I brought in a slightly better feeling thought, which was, I think I might be a badass because I've been dealing with this crap for 40 years and I'm still here. Now I want you to notice, this was not an ecstatic, better feeling thought. This was not, oh my God, I feel great, and trying to make myself believe I felt great when in fact I was afraid for my life. I was afraid of myself. So I reached for that slightly better feeling thought. And then I wrote down that slightly better feeling thought because Abraham had said, use a journal. It's very focusing. Actually, I don't think I'd heard that yet. I just decided I would journal because that's what I do. I love writing. So I'm journaling. And then my head immediately went, so what? You're a badass. Big deal. Because the grooves in the brain are just going to keep merrily on until we interrupt the pattern. So I went, well, yeah, but it's all I've got. And I heard Abraham say, when you come across a slightly better feeling thought, nurse it, chew on it, chew all the flavor out of it like a piece of gum. So that's what I did. And I didn't ask myself to be anything other than what I was. And that's the key. I feel like I'm on my way off the planet if I'm not finding some answer, but I don't have any answers. That's real. That was real. And I think I might be a badass. Okay, that was real. It didn't seem impressive. So I went looking for what was interesting about it. Well, it's interesting that I could have any thought other than all of this terror in the same moment. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know I could do that. Okay. It wasn't, oh, great. It was, this is different. This is slightly elevated. I said, okay, what else? Well, when I think of that, I see a little pinprick of light from within. I mean, because I'm very visual, internally visual that way. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, that's cool. Thanks, Terry. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Okay. That's interesting. I wonder if that is going to help. I wonder. So anyway, I went on with that kind of musing, that kind of putting my attention there, not insisting that I be anywhere else but where I was, but bringing something else to the party that was just a tiny bit better feeling. That better feeling, that energetic, is what breaks the chains. That's what breaks the chain. You break the pattern. It breaks the chains. Yes, this is exactly what I was talking about yesterday about the little steps. You can only ever take little steps. The thing is that the little steps are the feminine, and the feminine is so freaking goddamn powerful that it changes everything for you. It's the most elegant. And we are, Stacy. Hi, honey. We are now in the age of Aquarius where we can learn a completely different way of understanding the world that we live in, its nature and our nature in relationship to it. Because the age of Pisces structure, framework, worldview is your emotion. How you feel doesn't matter. Who you are doesn't matter, because you don't matter. You're a victim to life. You're a victim to this environment. You have no power. You just have to figure out how to get around it. You have to figure out how to deal with it. You have to figure out how to wrestle it to the ground and kill it and be in power and make sure other people aren't in power, because that's what it takes for you to be in power. But it's really not power. It's control. That's another conversation. That's what we've been taught. That's the worldview. The worldview is cowboys and Indians. The worldview has been winners and losers. This is what the patriarchy teaches us to see through. Marvelous, marvelous. Hi, honey. Hi, Nikki. The old patriarchal that we are just beginning to crack the shell of now, which is exciting, taught us, and we have built our lives on the understanding, the belief, the acceptance that we are fundamentally powerless in a world that is bigger and stronger than we are. And once we understand, once we come to an experiential understanding of how big we truly are and where that bigness can be experienced on a regular, day-to-day, practical basis, the game is over. The old game is over. You've brought in the feminine, which comes through your emotion, your senses, your intuition, flashes of insight, questioning. I think I'm fam. Hi. I think you're fam too. Welcome. Hi, Chow. Hi, Survivor. We have to go from one worldview to another. So I call it the two castles, not the two patriarchal. The patriarchal castle is the one from Age of Pisces that we just left like a minute and a half ago, and that we're going to be in for the next millennia or two. And it was about, you have no power, just have faith that there's something here and it will support you, and blah, 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 blah. No, Stanley Cup. Yes, I win. Somebody made this for me for my last birthday. It's really sweet. Thanks, Paragon. We have to come into a new way of seeing our world, because this is the world with the eyeglasses removed. Do you want to see what really is going on? Because it's just like, what is that old story? What is it? The ugly duckling. It's the ugly duckling. We have lived all of these millennia believing that we are just an ugly duckling when we're swans. But we haven't known how to get to that experiential, actual knowing of and practice of being and doing that in our lives in practical daily ways. And so we've been like, well, I guess it's a mystery, and I guess God knows, and I guess God will reward me or slap my ass. No. God is not a human. God is everything. God is energy. God is light. Primordial, primeval, never leaving light. God is energy, and you are created out of that raw material. And I really want you to think about that from a very practical perspective in your head. I want you to go, well, if that's true, I want you to ask some damn questions. If that's true, Lori, how come right? Like, if that's true, how come I can't just find a frickin' job? If I'm that powerful, how come I can't find the love of my life? If I'm that powerful, how come I can't heal myself? I want you to ask those questions. I want us to discuss those questions. So if you've got one of them and you're wanting to share, this is the place. This is the time. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Miss Dawn. Ariel. Iris. Hey. What are one of those questions? If I am all that, if I am a spiritual being having a human experience, why does my life not conform to the ideology that I can have, be, and do anything that I want? If I'm that powerful, why do I think I need a job? That is really, that's meta. I love it. That's meta. And if you go to Abraham Hicks, if you go to YouTube, you can find videos about where Abraham says, you don't have to have a job. Now, do you need money? Yeah, well, yeah. We'll just leave it at yeah for now. Word on the street is your vibration has something to do with it. Yeah. I think this might be the street. So if you go, oh, thanks, Miss Dawn. You're so kind. I will visit you as well then. Thank you, sweetheart. And thank you for doing the work you do. My spirituality is practical. Always has been, always will be. If you cannot make use of it, if you can't apply it to your own life, your own psyche, your own heart, your own nervous system, your own ways of living, then it is just one more piece of damn dogma. And dogma is it's like a belief, but it's just a nice idea if you can't make it real for you. And the great saints throughout the ages have tried to bring us this message, and they've given us the art of meditation. Because meditation, we interrupt the pattern by seeing it. Not everybody does well with meditation. This would be one of them. I used to not be able to do spit with that. Nothing. I'm like, because I was depressed, and I'm sitting there going, I want to watch this some more. I don't think so. I didn't understand the concept of interrupting the pattern, and I was miserable. So whatever. It was that point in my life. I was in the chrysalis, and I was, you know how the butterfly goes into goo, like what am I trying to say? The caterpillar goes up the tree, it builds itself, its cocoon, it goes into it, and the whole thing completely decomposes into goo. Goo. It doesn't leave a heart and lungs, it's goo. And the natural, the core divine wisdom of that tiny creature. It's the coolest thing, isn't it, Dawn? It is like the coolest freaking thing. It then starts to reform, and it starts to grow into a whole different being, and it grows wings. But it can't, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? It cannot leave the chrysalis yet. It may be relieved AF. Oh my God, I'm no longer goo. Thank you. This is good. I'm glad I'm no longer goo. That was really intense. But it can't just go, cool, I'm out of here. No. There's more work that has to be done. The wings have to be strengthened so they can support her when she flies. And she doesn't know how long that's going to take. For all she knows, she's going to be in there forever. That's what I thought. Paint Slayer, hi babe. Good to see you. That's when I went completely broke and homeless in my 50s, I was like, oh my God, this is going to last forever. I'm going to die homeless and broken on the street. This is not what I thought my life was supposed to be for. Woo, heavy stuff, man. Heavy. But if you understand the principle of this, you go into this and then you are doing this against the sides of your chrysalis. This is what the butterfly does. It pushes its wings against it. Can I get out? 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 No, no. God dang it. What's really happening is not only frustration. Oh, frustration's happening. But you're also strengthening something. You may not even know what the hell it is you're strengthening. Frustrating? Yes. Helpful? F yes. Oh, yes. Hell yes. We have very little to no appreciation and understanding. That's deliberate too, of what it takes to truly grow into being ourselves. Excuse me. And we've been trained through the patriarchal system that we're supposed to struggle and we're supposed to suffer. That is the price of admission, and that is complete bull. Are you going to suffer in life? Yes, you are. You're going to feel things you don't want to feel. You came here for this. We all came here for that. I know, we're all completely batshit crazy, I get it. But still, we came here for that. We wanted to use that truth of this particular place to give us something to push against and move forward. And what we've gotten stuck in, not by our own fault, but through religion and marketing and social shoulds, and that, it all loops you back to, I'm not able. I'm not capable. I'm not good. I'm not worthy. I'm not this. I'm not that. You might as well get some pom-poms and celebrate what you think you're not. But it's only you that's holding you back. You want frustration? How about that one? Because the minute you step into something that tells you, say your name, like from Lori, you're wrong. Lori, you can't. Lori, you don't know how. Lori, you'll never know how. Blah, blah, blah. You're stuck. Thank you for the hearts. Please, you guys, keep doing that thing. It gets me out to the FYP and gets other captives of the system to know I'm here. So Marvelous says, I proclaim a life of ease and grace, sacredness and joy. How does that feel when you say it, when you write it? Because that's where the power is. It's not in the words. It's in what the words feel to you. That's where your power, that's where your activation switch is. You can't just say stuff and go, okay, so now that's the truth. No, you have to live it. You have to experience it. You have to feel it. You have to practice it. You have to come to an understanding that what you feel is bringing you into you. And remember what the Jesus figure said. The kingdom of God is within you. Not your priest. Not your rabbi. Not your imam. Kingdom of God's within you, baby. It's a moment-to-moment allowing in curiosity. Now, that's kind of like a big ask, right? So the smaller and more realistic ask for us to come into an understanding that, oh, I really can have an impact on my life is, I call it giving yourself some relief. I call it giving myself some relief. You can't go from living under the bridge to then saying to yourself, I'm a millionaire, and believe it. Your nervous system, your emotions, the settings in your brain, the literal grooves in your brain are going to go, bullshit. And they're right. It's right. Because what you feel is what you attract or repel. What you feel is the red carpet of your life. So it's about trending. It's not about fixing. It's not about continuing this mad dance of blaming ourselves for not being there yet. Have you ever noticed that when you got to a point at some time in your life, you went, oh, never mind, I give up, and then something good would happen? Have you ever had that experience? Has anybody had that experience where you were like pushing and pushing and pushing for something, looking for the job, looking for the this, looking for that, and you went, oh, God, I can't. Yeah. So isn't the question, oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, guys. So isn't the question, how do I make that happen more frequently? Wouldn't that be the question? What do you think? Would that be your next question? That's my question to you. Would that be your next question? How do I harness that? You too, Miss Dawn. Keep doing the truth, baby. Wouldn't the next question be, how do I make that happen instead of wait for that to happen again? Yeah, that's the question. That really is the question. How do I do that? Thank you, Pepper. Thank you, Sharon. So let's take going with the flow. It's a beautiful concept, no? I mean, there's something about this that just, we like get it. We get it in our system. We're like, oh my God, if I could just go with the flow. We're not wrong with that. What does that mean? Like in a practical sense, how do I just decide to go with the flow? What do I do? Well, maybe if I look at what I've done when I've been in the flow state. What have I been doing when I've been in the flow state? Well, I've given up. I've been like, never mind, I got no answers. Fuck it. Right? And which is surrender. But surrender's loaded with religious garbage. So we have to be careful when we use words that we become aware at the same time. Don't be afraid of using them. Don't be afraid of words. Don't be afraid of feelings. Be determined to pay attention, to observe, to notice. In that noticing is where you are making room for all the patterns to be broken. It's far less effort than you think. And that's why it feels weird to you. It feels weird. You're like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to push really hard. I'm supposed to know what the hell I'm doing. I'm supposed to make this shit happen. No, you're not. You're really not. That's not your job. That's the job of divinity itself and of the feminine of divinity itself. Yeah, well, when fear comes up around surrender, it's because you're trying to do surrender. I think. You tell me what you think. But it seems to me, if I try to not try, I'm in a patriarchal loop again, aren't I? I'm in the efforting loop again. Oh, here I go. I have to try again. I have to push. I have to be mean to myself and do things when I don't want to do them always and struggle, and then maybe I won't earn my wings. Right. So in order to deal with the thoughts, Pepper, and thank you so much for sharing. I so appreciate it. We will have all kinds of thoughts like that. And they're all fair, right? Like, why should we should on ourselves? We're like, okay, that's a fair question. But if we want to move past the question into directly experiencing relief, those questions of be afraid, be very afraid, they don't have anything to fight against when we do that. If I say to myself, I don't need to change my life, I just need to have a moment of relief, the patriarchal system's mindset, brain loops, nervous system, all of it, it can't see it. It goes, oh, you just want a little relief? That's not, okay, go ahead. It doesn't know that's the escape route. It doesn't know that when you give yourself a little bit of relief, you have changed your emotional vibration and you've changed your freaking life. It doesn't know that. Now, neither do you. So you need to know that. Because when you know that, then you can use that as the most incredible tool for freedom you've ever had. If you know that every moment, tiny freaking seemingly insignificant moment that you go, God, I feel like crap. I'm going to give myself a minute to do something else instead of continuing to beat myself forward as though I were a slave to myself. You've just up-leveled your vibrational energy. You've opened your consciousness. You've interrupted the pattern. You've made room for it to ultimately be broken. Yes, give up controlling for specific outcomes. Yes, yes, yes. Because if you're miserable enough, as I was, feeling a little bit better is everything. Little did I know that that's everything. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. It's everything. How you feel is who you are. How you feel is how you make it through your day, and whether you make it through your day or you build a beautiful day of meaningful moments that you go, oh, I had a different response. Oh, I took a look at that instead of like beating the heck out of myself. Oh, and yeah, your head's going to do all kinds of numbers on you. You've been enculturated. You've been brainwashed. Do you understand me? You have been brainwashed. So if you think you can do this work overnight and you're going to be done, you're full of it. Stop lying to yourself. Stop holding yourself to an impossible standard. It's not possible. It's not even desirable. I was bitching the other day. I was out walking and I was channeling and I was talking to one of my people. And I said, I just want to be done. Like, I just want to be at that place where I'm like really, really happy and blah. And he said to me, so you don't want to take the trip? And I'm like, well, to be honest with you, emotionally, no, I just want to be done right now. And he was like, then why even be here? Like, you're missing it. I went, oh, you're right. But you have to take those conversations with yourself into yourself. You are the ultimate decider of what works for you. You are the ultimate decider of which directions to go. But you can't do it from here. You cannot do it from here. You have to be in masculine-feminine balance, and the feminine comes first. I know in Indian cultures, because I've been around Indian cultures for almost 40 years, when a family comes up to see a great being, it is the man first, the children next, and the woman last. No. When the great Saint Amachi was asked, is God more female or male? She said, female. 1% more female. And that's because the feminine is generative. You have to be born before you can do. You have to have an inspiration before you can act on it. It's very practical. Chris, right? You have to have the female. You have to have the feminine lead the way. You have to. It's the way it works. You can't go conquer the world if you never freaking been born. Thank you, Chris. This stuff is supposed to be practical. It is supposed to make sense. If you think that God, whatever that is for you, put you here to be perpetually confused and screwed up, no, that has been the job of humankind in the structure of the patriarchy. That's not God's fault. That's the patriarchy. That's also the human evolutionary process that we've been in the age of Pisces. And before that was apparently the age of Taurus, about which I know actually nothing. But anyway, there are cycles of evolution. We are, the Fibonacci spiral that goes, and it's gorgeous, and it also has mathematical principles, and it's like very mystic and arcane. Oh, you're a Pisces. Ooh, you're getting to really move out of something. I don't know enough about astrology to tell you, but that's cool. I mean, all of us are, but if you're also a Pisces, that seems like a really, really interesting thing to have chosen to come in with, to leave. So here we are in the human evolutionary cycle. Age of Taurus, who the hell knows what came before that? Age of Pisces, and now we are in the age of Aquarius. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm truly sorry. So you're going to use that experience and make sure that that crap doesn't crap on you forever. And I don't mean get rid of it. I mean take it like human waste. Take it like, what's the word I'm looking for? Take it, spread it on the ground and grow some frickin' flowers from it. And go, thought you'd get the better of me? Huh. I just turned the entire thing into a whole different plant. I just made this my freedom. Oh my God, that's so much better than revenge. Oh my God, that's the best revenge. Okay, I'm going to take this thing that happened to me and I'm going to make sure that I make use of it in a way that forwards me, lifts me, gets me out of the victimhood of that situation. Because by taking my power back and going, I'm going to take that thing, I'm going to look at how I can maybe use the emotions, the settings, whatever, and everything that surrounds that victim moment. I'm gonna start to, instead of trying to push it away, I'm gonna start to take a look at it and see where I have stood in relationship to all of it as a victim and where I can stand in my power instead. Well, chances are great that you're the cycle breaker because you're sitting listening to this crazy girl. That's a big part of it, Pepper. It did. It created your empathy. Yep, it created your hidden gifts. You betcha. You betcha. And then there's more. There's like the part that was really, really hurt. And that kind of stuff, thank you, Sharon. That kind of stuff, I have used therapists to help me, not to help me figure out what's wrong with me. Where am I off target? Where am I misaligned? Okay, so for instance, I have a friend who just decided to ghost me. I've known her since we were kids. I don't know what's going on with her. I've asked her. I've said, if I did something wrong, tell me what it is. She's like, you didn't do anything wrong. Blah, 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 blah. And my therapist said to me, so tell me something. How come you have two people in your life who suck at emotion and are introverts? How is that possible when you are an ambivert? You are not an introvert exclusively, and you are very expressive, and you like to connect. And you got two women who don't know how the hell to deal with emotion. And I went, what a great frickin' question. Because people are not in our life by accident. Really cool. Really cool. So now I'm sitting with that. I don't have the answer. I'm not supposed to have it in a minute. I get to be an interesting part of me. I get to be my own mystery. I get to be my own unfolding. I get to be my own story. And so do you. TikTok mom. Hey, honey. Good to see you. How are you? Don't you want to be like a good story? You sure are. I'm so glad. Thank you. Go Ohio. Thank you to all of you who are in my fan club. That's so cool. Right. And so the question is that what you want? You know, because if you come from the perspective of here's what I'm doing and I don't like it and I have to fix it because it's my fault, are you not being kind of mean to yourself? Are you not putting yourself down? Are you not judging yourself in really negative terms and saying, good God, I'm flawed, I have to fix something. Oh, no. You are. So what do you do instead? This is the question I want you to ask yourself about anything. What do I do instead? What would change the stance to? So that's what I'm asking me. What is it that is in my vibrational frequency now? I'm not looking back at what happened. You are now. You're not back there. You're now. This is now. Okay? This is now. In this very moment is when you interrupt the pattern. So what I'm aware of so far is that I have such a sense of empathy toward people who are afraid of their own voice, afraid of their own connectivity. I kind of want to rescue them. That's what I'm aware of right now. Do I want to stay there? No, I do not. It is not my job to rescue anybody except me. As I lift, as I expand my energy, as I expand my knowing, as I share what I know and be what I be and everything else, the people around me will be impacted by that. Or they won't. That's up to the energy, to what we call God. So I'm sitting here talking at you. Some people have come in and have left. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm done. Cool. They honored where they were and what they wanted to resonate with. Great. Fantastic. Oh, Sharon, honey. And here we are sitting here because there's something in this that is resonating. I'm resonant with this because I love talking. I love sharing. My big thing is we women and the feminine have to get off our MFing knees. Enough with coming from this perspective, this uncontested perspective that the feminine is weak. Bullshit. It's not. Now, I don't know much about physics, okay? But if I have this right, when you split an atom, you know how big an atom is? No, because you can't see it. Neither can I. When you split an atom, which means you're making each piece smaller than the original whole, what happens? Insane power. You blow shit up. That's the feminine. That's how powerful it is. Vibrationally. So what we have to do is prove to ourselves that in allowing a little bit of relief, in recognizing when we're pushing, not bad in itself, but if you're pushing to the point where you're not letting yourself have rest internally, if you are breathing in, and you never breathe out, you're going to pass out. Thank you, Paragon. The smaller is the larger. The feminine is the power. They don't want you to know it. So the most intense thing you can do is to start to find ways in which you can give yourself a little relief. Okay, for some people, it's like gratitude, writing gratitude statements. For some people, it's taking a walk in the woods. For some people, it's meditation. For some people, it's singing a song. For some people, it's writing a song. But what really gives that the gas is when you understand that if you look at life, for some of us, it's all of those, yes. And if you look at your life from, I am energy first, I am energy first, I am energy first, I am made of energy first, and the human comes out of that energy, you are going to start to recognize where your point of power is. And it's not in your doing. Your body, your doing, all of that is a servant to your energy. It's how you were built. And when you're doing it in a way that honors you, you are engaging the divine masculine. When the divine feminine moves forward and says, I have this idea, I have this insight, I have this thing, it's going to happen. Like, wow, this is cool, this is cool. How do I put that into action? It's not that the feminine doesn't know how, but the masculine comes in as the divine masculine and says, here, let's go. And they go together. What we've had for the last few millennia is a bunch of stale patriarchal bullshit people going here. It's all from win and lose. It's all from up and down. It's all from black and white. And then we have stupid movies come out, like one just came out, and they're done every once in a while. And I used to think they were cute. I used to think they were interesting, and they used to make me feel better. Now they don't. So for me, that's a moment of growth in my life. Doesn't make the other thing wrong. Doesn't mean it makes the other thing wrong. You just have to know where you're standing in your journey. What's unfolding? What are you wanting to bring to the party, and what do you want to let go? So we have these movies where we have these men, like the latest one is this man who he bangs into like a post, knocks himself out, and wakes up in a world where women are in control. Problem. Women generally are not into control. We're into, like, the feminine is about nurturing and growing and everybody winning together. It's nurturance. The feminine is nurturance. And the feminine does not insist that you think the way they do. The feminine is here to support your natural growth. So that frickin' movie can kiss my ass, because that is the patriarchal nightmare. That is the limp dick nightmare of, oh my God, they're going to treat us like we treated them. It would serve you right. But we know it doesn't work because we've been on the receiving end of that crap. And we're not going to maintain your game of violence and punishment and one up, one down. We're not doing it. Get the hell out of the White House. Get the hell out of government. Go away. Now, we can't make them go away. Or can we? Well, you know what helps? We stop playing the game. Stop playing the game. Like, you can sit there and watch the news and the this and the that and get all upset, as you should, because this is crap. But are you also doing something that changes the very nature of the world? Probably not, because you don't yet believe in your core. You don't yet believe that you have that power, that we all have that power. You don't have to dislike men to hate the patriarchy. Because even women uphold the patriarchy. Yeah, women who are just, they bought into the whole masculine is better than feminine, and I'm here just to be like in Gilead. Ugh, God save me. Anyway, it's the system. Yes, Miss Sharon, exactly. It is the system. So how do we employ our power in a world that our consciousness has been built to believe is mostly, if not exclusively, physical? Like, if I'm going to get this stuff to stop, I have to go to Washington physically. And, like, what else do we have at our disposal? Well, we have a freaking everything else at our disposal. Freaking everything else. Seriously. We have, oh my God. There are stories. Here's one. We had the Berlin Wall in Germany, which separated East and West Germany. And people were shot and killed on sight by guards on that wall when they tried to cross from east to west. We had people risk their lives trying to tunnel the fuck out. We had all kinds of stuff like that going on for decades. Then one night on the news, few decades ago, maybe 30. I don't know. Somebody else can tell me what the year was. I look at the news and there are college students sitting on top of the wall with ball-peen hammer. Thank you, Aardvark. With hammers, chipping away at the wall and keeping the pieces of the wall as souvenirs. It was over. Now you can track that through, like you can go and research it and you can see all of the physical, political things that were shifting that made that possible. But I want you to know it didn't start with that. It started with the world was changing. The consciousness of the world was changing. It was removing its belief in and its fear of that stuff. And one night, it's over. Given the amount of fear that was put towards that and the belief in, oh, that'll never change. Oh, this is terrible. Push against it. Push against it. I mean, it's amazing that in one frickin' day, see ya, we're done. It starts with energy. It does. And I've proved it in my own life. My favorite example, forgive me, if those of you who know me have heard this before, but coming out of homelessness and despair in my 50s, and using the only tools that I knew. Hi, Edith. The only tools that I knew were to try hard. Like that's the tool that you are given from the time you are. Try hard. Here's the tool. Try hard. Try. You didn't win? Try harder. Try again. Try again. Oh, good boy. Good girl. You tried hard. Oh, that's good. You failed? Again? Try again. You see how this goes downhill fast? You cannot breathe in and 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 never breathe out and think that you're not going to pass the fuck out. Not going to happen. This is your life. So what I was doing was I was sitting there, I'm like on my computer looking for work, looking. And I was going to this incredible program. Hey, Nellie, I was going to this incredible program at this library in Kentucky across the river. That was this just absolutely business. It's what am I trying to say? It is come on, Lori. It is job hunting on steroids. It's insightful and caring and oh my, clever and oh my God, just completely awesome. But I'm and I'm getting nowhere. And I've got people around me telling me all the reasons why I'm failing. Well, there's ageism. Now, personally, I don't frickin' believe in ageism. Do I believe it exists? Of course, I'm not an idiot. But I don't believe in holding it in my being as something that can stand between me and what I need. It's not possible. If I am made of the energy that creates worlds, something like ageism in certain people doesn't mean every frickin' person is going to be ageist about me, and somebody's going to frickin' see how fabulous I am and give me a goddamn job. So I'm not going to limit myself. Oh, it's ageism. I don't fucking care what it is. The power's within me. I get to do it. So I'm sitting here in my chair one day, and I'm like, I'm out of steam. I'm like, oh my God. I've been working on this crap for frickin' ever. I give up. I give up. I got nothing. And I looked out the window at all the empty space in the world and the trees and the roads, and a few minutes later the phone rang. And it was a temp service with a lady that I've worked with for years whenever she has work for me, and she said, would you like to go do a job for $25 an hour? Now that's really unusual in administrative and stuff. That's a high amount to pay for, which is sad. It should be way more. But anyway, that's usually it's like $12 or something. It was just stupid. So I said, yeah, great. Was it the answer to my lifelong dream? No! Was it the answer to my need to pay rent? You bet your ass. And because by that point I already knew about energy, I went, okay, I'm so glad, Pepper. That makes me happy. And I said to myself, you know what? Because I know that my energy matters. I'm not going to should on myself. I'm not going to go, you should be happy. Bullshit. I don't have to be happy to be happy. I don't have to be happy to feel relief. I don't have to be happy to have quality of life. Thank you, Sharon. I don't. I can just be like, well, okay, well, I really wish I didn't have to work at all. Yep, I know. That feeling is strong. The force is strong with this one. Like, I know. I'd rather not be working this kind of crap. I get it. I'm in it. I'm inside it. And let me see what's here at this thing. Yeah, because you know what? I don't know what could come out of this. And I'm not just talking a job, but who knows what experiences or what growth I could get or what I could learn, or like, let me be a little curious about my life so I stop waiting. So I stop waiting to be satisfied. Be satisfied now, MFer. Let's go. Find your satisfaction now in ways tiny. And you will find that you have built a castle of your own with open walls everywhere where you've got satisfaction in all different directions. And you are the lady of your castle and you are kick-ass. The biggest thing that you probably are going to push against at first is this idea that you have to go fast and you have to go far and that you have to understand it. Like, oh, this is going to do it. It's so counterintuitive for us. And so part of my work is I do a workshop called Off the Hook for women leaders who, and that doesn't necessarily mean CEOs or VPs, but women who lead in life, who want to take a shortcut through the patriarchal and the toxic and the issues and the trauma and grow without personal growth without suffering. Because I use acting and improv and storytelling and safety and security, and it's 15 people only, and it's a 4-week program. Now I don't have it launched yet. I did do it once, and now I'm retooling it. And because I'm a one-person organization, this is going to take a little bit longer than I thought it would. But if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you like the idea of connecting connecting through play as your way to personal growth, so that it sneaks past that part of you that's going, it's scary. Oh, thank you, Paragon, you sweetheart. You sure you can't dress up like a woman and show up? But if you want to be on the waiting list to be notified of when that landing page and the whole thing is ready, and then you can see if it's your jam, then what you can do is go to my website, which is goodbygirl.com. I'm afraid of TT taking me off. Anyway, / off the hook wait list. One word, off the hook wait list. No spaces, no dashes, no dots. Off the hook wait list. Get on the wait list as soon as that launches. I promise you, I will let you know, and then you can take a look at it and see if it's what you need at the moment that you need it. Fair. It is challenging AF to be kind to me instead of holding myself continuously up to standards that I've been taught to believe are necessary. It's challenging, but it's not hurtful. That's the difference. This is painful. Letting myself off the hook, letting myself have a little bit of relief, letting myself feel a little bit better, and understand more and more, deeper and deeper, bigger and bigger, that it is the emotion, which is where I live in relationship with my co-creative stuff. That is my direct phone line to the divine, of which I am made. That changes the game. I want that for us. I want that for all of us. That is what will change everything in this country, literally overnight. Greg Braden, the physicist and spiritual teacher, said that it takes 8.3, I'm not sure about the 3, but 8.3% of humanity to awaken for us to literally see our entire society, our entire world change overnight, literally overnight. This is a physicist. Okay, so if you want real world stuff, this guy's a physicist. You can find him all over YouTube if you want to check him out. Greg Braden, Greggbraden. That's how powerful it is. Now, the feminine is what the waking up. What is the waking up? What are we talking about? What is that? Aren't we awake if we know that we're all one? No, we're not. The awakening is the awakening to the power of who you are. And understanding that power is not crush, power is not control, power is generative, power is feminine. Power is feminine, strength is masculine. Put them together, you're in a good spot. Oh, great, Sharon. Thank you too. Talks like this are really good to listen to. But it always comes back to, how do I make this real for myself? So I recommend, instead of taking this as anything that you've gotten here, instead of taking it as, ooh, I better live that way now, instead take it as like information to noodle with, to think about. Hell, even talk to AI about it. Like, hey, there's this idea, and I'm just thinking, well, I don't believe in it. I don't know. How can I get to understanding that? Well, what would you like me to tell you? AI will say. And you will say, well, I would like you to help me dig deeper. I would like you to help me look at what it is that may be standing in my own consciousness that is telling me I'm not allowed to believe that. And like, let's just talk. Now, I'd rather you did that with a human. I want you to do that with a human. We've got to learn to communicate. We've got to learn to connect, and we've got to learn to be vulnerable in ways that still maintain our boundaries and our wisdom and our discernment. This is big stuff. But if you don't have it planned to be with a person in the next 24 hours and you really want to get started, you can always talk to AI. I use Claude. CLAUDE.ai. Is it really, Sharon? Is that what's happening in the world? Because that has a lot of built-in dangers. Interesting. You just want to get started. You're not going to make it the boss of you. If you make it the boss of you, you've fallen back into the patriarchal castle. You're making it your bitch, okay? You're making it the other part, you're asking it and demanding that it bring forward within you, not it, within you. You go, oh, what did you just say? Is that what I said? I didn't mean that. You're using it for revelation for yourself, of yourself. I could really go off on that one. Let me see if there's one thing I need to share with you before we go. Okay, so one of the things I love to do on Mystic Soul Sundays is take some part of the Bible and help you read it correctly. Help you unhook yourself from the self-punishing way that everything has been posited. And I could give you a bunch of examples, like a bunch of, or I could just tell you one story. Let's see. I have already used Adam and Eve quite a lot. Let's see. So this is not like another thing for you to go, okay, now I have to subscribe to this. This is an alternate reading that you can go, holy crap, that makes more sense. You can think about it. You can go research for yourself. Okay. So, which one, Lori? Okay, let's do Adam and Eve. It's the one I tend to gravitate towards, and I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared enough for the other stories. So, to kind of quote my favorite teacher who ever lived, Bill Donahue, you can find him on YouTube, and I highly recommend it, especially if you need to be debugged from religious programming. Do you really believe there were a couple of naked people running around a garden? Do you really believe there was a talking snake? That never happened. Oh, it could have. Things were different back then. No, they weren't. You know the human experience from the inside out. You know how this shit works, okay? Yeah, but anything we believe could be real. Okay, do you want this stuff to make sense to you and help you in your journey, or do you want to argue for the church's position? Up to you. Up to you. So, do you really believe there was a talking snake and two naked people running around, and that they didn't know they were naked? And then, oh, I'm naked. Who cares? Who would care? I'm naked? Who would care? It's these two people. They've seen each other naked forever. They're like, oh, yeah, I guess you are naked. Who would care? Doesn't make any sense. Unless you look at it symbolically. Adam, the masculine. Eve, the feminine. Adam, intellect. Eve, emotion. The two sides of the brain. The two aspects to the brain. Two aspects to the brain. Okay, cool. So what's the Garden of Eden then? Oh, the Garden of Eden is just allowing, accepting, open to what is, being in the flow of one's emotions and everything, and not self-judging and not doing all that crap. Oh, Garden of Eden. Good place to be. So who the hell's the snake? The snake is Kundalini energy, which is the energy that comes up through all of our chakras and opens our consciousness. And the snake's job is to awaken us to everything that is. Because we came here to have an evolutionary journey. We didn't come here to be miserable, and we didn't come here to be in bliss. We came to take a trip. I know. What the hell were we thinking? I know. But still, that's what we did. And the first place you have to start is with your first chakra, which is the base of your spine, the sexual organs. This is the place of security. And it awakens as we do in this life and goes, wait a second, I thought I was complete, but now they're telling me I can't use this feminine part of me. I have to use only the masculine. I'm not safe, I'm going to die. And you realize, wait a second, I've been taught to judge myself on a set of criteria. I don't even know what they are, but I've been told that it's wrong and I'm wrong and I have to cover myself. I have to be mean to me now. And then, because it was the emotions that led me astray, the feminine, the Eve, now if I'm in religion, I'm going to say women are evil. The feminine is evil. No, it isn't. It is the generative power. And it says it's time to get a move on. Let's start growing. And it throws you the hell out of the Garden of Eden. Let's get going. Let's take the trip. Let's go. And so you leave the beautiful consciousness of oneness and you go into the patriarchal, I have to use my brain. Anything I feel is not important. I don't matter. That is real coming out of the Garden of Eden, isn't it? I'm not allowed to feel. I'm not allowed for it to matter. I'm not allowed. Allow your own MF and self. I'm not saying you should be doing this immediately. I'm so frustrated with the rules, and I allow myself to be frustrated with the rules because I need the energy, and you need the energy of that anger to say, I'm going to do it differently. Pepper? Exactly. 100%. That is what we are taught to do. So you seeing that is a huge, 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 huge thing. It's like you just took the key and went, I didn't know I was holding a key. Wow, now I just have to find that door, right? What just happened? Oh, there we go. Okay. This is what I'm creating is I'm going to create a movie to show how this works, how this core aspect of you don't matter, your feelings don't matter, you are a bug, you can't, blah, 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 creates all the rest of it that then we're also taught it's your fault when it's not our fault. And we can't break the pattern. We can only introduce the virus, which will break the pattern for us. And the virus is the feminine. The virus is the taking a breath and having some compassion for ourselves, like Pepper just said. It's taking a break when everything in us says, no, I'm supposed to work myself to death. It's challenging the patterns that make you miserable because you can dare to assume that you are not put here to be miserable. You were put here, you put yourself here to prove that you could overcome any frickin' thing you want. Not like Schwarzenegger, like you. Like you. By going, I'm not going to play. I'm not going to push back. I'm just going to leave the party. In its own way, it's very simple. Oh, you sweetheart. Yeah. In its own way, it's simple. It's a change, though. It's a change from journeying this way towards an answer to journeying this way into deepening the understanding of the answer you've already gotten. Or you can see it this way. Whatever. Completely different way of living. Okay. Boy, we've covered a lot of territory today. Thank you for hanging with me. I appreciate you so, so much. I do programs, coaching programs for women leaders. Those are my high-end programs, though. So if you don't have lots and lots of money, then you want to stick around here. I'm here 6 days a week, so you get lots for nothing, except your attention and your ability to open. The other thing is, if you are a woman and a leader, I have Thursday meetings at 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are free. I am about to, this coming week, I am about to launch a Tuesday jailbreak. It's where you get to stop being so completely obsessed with the whole patriarchal way that we've learned to do stuff. Push, 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 push. And you get to come to where we're going to have guided meditation about your existing strength, your relief, your ability to just be instead of like, I'm pushing. And also I'm going to do a mini tarot reading for the collective, whoever's there. And then we'll just have a moment or a few minutes to connect as people. And that's the way I like to network. I don't like transactional networking. I don't like the, hi, what do you do? You know, I'm not going to remember what you frickin' do. I don't care. But if I know who you are, I care about you. I care about you. Thank you very much, Pepper. I appreciate that. Thanks, Paragon. So I just created something amazing. I just created a new place for that on a brand new platform called Ripply, RIPPILY.com. Very, very, very exciting because it is totally more flexible and powerful than Zoom. And it creates instant community without a whole bunch of, community within all the people who are on Ripply, without algorithms getting in the way. Aw, Sharon. Thank you. That means a lot. So, go take a load of RIPPILY. RIPPILY.com. You can go look at my room. It's open. It's the one I've got made so far is for the meditation and stuff. There won't be anybody in there. I'm not in there right now, but you can look at mine. What I did was I bought a domain and attached it to the, and redirected it to that page. And it is theunlockeddoor.com. So you can go take a look around, but and you can even leave me a message in the chat if you want to. Okay? Okie dokie. Have a great Sunday. Be kind to you. Yeah, Paragon, we should talk about that. I think you might be really into this. And yeah, we should definitely talk. Okay, guys, lots of love to all of you, to each of you. You are all the manifestations of divinity and love and kindness. And you just have to lower yourself into that bath a little bit at a time, okay? Love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 Eastern. Bye, sweet peas.